Tell me you're with us. Tell me you're joining us right now. Tell me you're a part of this magical world that we're in. Let me move this up a little bit. A little bit of a different, there we go. Sorry for that rough and tumble movement. Huh? Tell me. Who's with me first? We got a lot to talk about. This might be one of the best days ever, my friends. One of the best days ever, and I'll tell you why. But first, before I begin, I've learned a long time ago that the best thing for me to do is to find out. There we go. Are you hearing me? Give me a 5 by 5, everybody. Somebody give me a 5 by 5. Somebody let me know that I'm doing the right thing, ladies and germs. Let me know, ladies and germs. Give me a 5 by 5. That's all I ask. Who could ask for anything more, ladies and germs? That's all I care for. That's all I want to know. Let me see. How are we doing here? Oh, nope. We're on the wrong one. We are on the wrong one, my friends. Let me see. We are on this. I'm on the other side. I thought, you know what I thought? Crazy me. I thought it was Lionel Nation. Turns out I'm on, believe it or not, Lionel Legal, which is even better. I think that's even groovier because that's a station that I love. Well, when I say a station, it's my groovy kind of thing. This is fantastic. Anyway, who's with us on Lionel Legal this morning? Lionel Legal, ladies and germs. There we go. That's what I'm doing. That's different. You know, that works out better because I've been trying very, very, very much to make sure I have a balance between the two. And like with children, and some people might say with others, there's a sense of, I don't know, maybe a sense of neglect. So let me just make sure I'm coming through. Oh, ladies and germs. Are we seeing? I've got about 16 people. I have a seat of 5 by 5. Can you give me a 5 by 5? 5 by 5, 5x5 means you can hear me loud and clear. I'm coming in loud and clear. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let me see. Let me look. Let me see. Finally, I'm sorry. I've got to move these things around. There we go. I got a 5 by 5. Excellent, excellent. Come on, Lynn Kern. Monica Esparza. Johnny Maz the Spaz. Gus Crezios. Freddie Haddad. Mary. Lynn Kern. Awesome. Everybody there is awesome. She's filled with awe. A sense of awe. Let me tell you what I did, Mr. Smarty Pants. When I leave in the morning, I take my book bag and I prepare my stuff. I don't want to, I let Mrs. L sleep. I don't want her to, I get up, and all this. But I have this little thing, look at this, you see this? I have this coffee thing here. This is pretty good. I went online and they said, which one's the best? And this one brand, I'm not going to mention it. But when I will put these things always leak. They always leak every single time. I put it in my bag, my valise. I'll never wear, I have a little case like a man carries, not a book bag or one of those Anyway, so we have this. What do we have here? We have this. This is beautiful. This is beauteous. This is a thing. But what happens is screw tops are great, but I noticed that when a lot of them don't have that. That's a good point. So what I did was I just took this, because I'm a pretty sharp guy. See that? I take this off, but I put a little seal of cellophane underneath. And I can hang it upside down, and it's beautiful, and that's it. And it works perfectly. A little bit of cellophane, ladies and germs. I'm sure I'm getting microplastics and that sort of thing. Now, first and foremost, we're almost at the end of the month. And I want to thank those of you who have been a part of Lionel Nation for helping me out and making me aware of what's going on and joining the fun and the frolic, because I love nothing like this. I have been talking to a lot of folks. There's a lot of reinvigoration going on in the world right now. A lot of stuff. And here is the story. How many of you fine folks think that American Eagle has absolutely scored big with Ms. Sweeney? Have you found this out, ladies and germs? Oh, I was watching Alex Jones. Alex and I were conversing in private the other day. I love that man. Still love that man. Would you want to see me on Alex's show? Not that he needs me, but I think I could add a lot as far as this great lawsuit. I know you don't want to hear this, but Candace Owens is going to get her clock cleaned. And I don't think people, I'm telling you, and nobody would say, anybody. So here is a question. How many of you fine folks think that the American Eagle ad is doing absolutely beautifully wonderful, and how this has become Sydney Sweeney, who is normal hot girls are back. It's not porn, not trans, not gay, not obese to make a point, not wearing a headscarf to be inclusive, not political. The world is healing. It's time for us to recognize, it says, to whom it may concern, American Eagle. We sincerely apologize for featuring Sydney Sweeney in our recent advertisement. In hindsight, we underestimated the combined impact of her blue eyes, blonde hair, and general hotness. Also, we did not realize how big her boobs would be. Our marketing team has been sent to denim sensitivity training. Thank you for your feedback. Please stop emailing us. We're still trying to recover from the group chat fallout. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an absolute, positively reaffirmation that America and American values and what makes America great are all back. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? I think this is the most wonderful thing in the world. And when I tell people this, they think, you know what? By the way, Sydney Bernice Sweeney is an American actress and producer. She is 27 years old. She is the latest to defend. Ted Cruz is defending Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle ad, ripped as Nazi propaganda. Ted Cruz came to the... Well, Ted Cruz is a hack, okay? And if you don't understand a hack, I don't know what is. But as you know, dear friends, why Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle ad is being slammed as Nazi propaganda by a crazed woke mob. Sydney Sweeney being sultry in a jeans ad, you'd think that's something all Americans could come together on. But the new campaign from American Eagle, starring the blonde-haired, blue-eyed beauty, has sent the mob woke world into a colossal meltdown, in part thanks to the tagline, which riffs off denim jeans and a person's genetics. This punny play on words is a nod to Sydney Sweeney jeans. Now, if you find a problem with this, if anybody does, go ahead. I think it is fantastic. And my friends, my quote to you is, do you believe, as do I, that maybe we are rounding the curve, rounding the corner, rounding the bend? Do you think that, do you have, my friends, do you have young men and women in your family and young girls that say this is what you should aspire to? Not necessarily slutdom, but being attractive to the other side. Any problem with this? Back, baby, woke is out. Louise Nurse, baby's got her blue jeans on. Remember that? Was that T? Baby. Baby's got her blue jeans on. Who did that? Not Billy Crash Craddock. That was Rub It In. Neanderthal jeans. I love it when you say hack. Why do I feel like you're turning into a gossip column more than real unadulterated news legal channel? Come on, you can do better. Anybody agree with that one? Do you believe that what we see right now, the dissemination of an idea, the publication of a thought is somehow gossip? Do you think this is gossip? You don't think that the application of the First Amendment is not, quote, legal? Anybody think this is gossip? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody think that this is? By the way, we can't ever, the first thing I would read, if somebody like a DS, I'm saying, oh, this is a plant. See what I do, and I've done before, and I've done this for other people. I said, when are you going live? A friend of mine told me, I said, I'm going to go on as whatever it is, and I'm going to say something really stupid, and then everybody will just jump. It'll cause people to come out of the woodwork to support you. So DS, thank you, and please keep it up. I listened to you for an hour on WABC. The WABC website streams quite nicely. Any chance you could add an external chat room for the fans who would listen on WABC? Are you kidding me? An external chat? Maybe on WABCradio.com? I don't know. I don't know. It's a very, very good point. My friends, behind me is the American flag. There are things coming out when people started to wear, I thought a lot of the bushy beards were a little bit extreme. I thought they looked kind of stupid, but that's okay. Hyper masculine. To be a man, to be a woman, to say that you are sexually attracted to young women, to say that people are sexy or hot, or to not be Neanderthal, as somebody might suggest. But this is one of the greatest things ever. The president, you can't write this. Dylan Mulvaney and that absolutely stupid story about the Bud Light was beyond anything I've ever seen or any of us have ever seen. And it goes to show you a kind of a recapitulation of our focus. A summary of the allegations and objections and media complaints or exploitations regarding the American Eagle ad and Sydney Sweeney in 500 words. That's what I just did. I went to ChatGPT, I put that in, that's my news. That's what yours has to be. And then you can even hit if you want, at the end of this, you can hear a kind of a spoken version of this, which is the most important. You can hear an audio in case maybe you have trouble seeing, or maybe you're cleaning up or tooling about or driving. You can put all of your news. This is your news segment on ChatGPT. It'll run your news stories with kickers and the whole bit. But it says in late July of 2025, American Eagle launched a denim campaign starring Sydney Sweeney with a pun on jeans, G-E-N-E-S, and J-E-A-N-S. What was that song? Baby's got her blue jeans on, country in style. Again, ChatGPT, and this Baby's got her blue jeans on. Mel McDaniel. Released in 1984, it scored #1. Remember during the whole Brooke Shields, Calvin Klein jeans, then mom jeans. In any event, in late July 2025, American Eagle launched a denim campaign starring Sydney Sweeney with a pun on jeans, as I said. A billboard read, Sydney Sweeney has great jeans, G-E-N-E-S, but she crossed out jeans to emphasize jeans. Sweeney states, jeans are passed down, traits like eye color. My jeans are blue, before the tagline appears. The brand's sock store jumping around 10%, although it later dipped slightly, but the controversy spurred this on. Critics, the allegations, eugenics and white supremacy signals. Critics argue that the phrase great genes paired with images of Sweeney, white, blonde, blue-eyed, young, shapely, evokes historic, eugenic ideology and white supremacism, where selective breeding was used to elevate special traits. Critics drew parallels to Nazi propaganda and American. Oh, thank you, God. Thank you for invoking the word Nazi. Number two, they talked about regressive beauty standards. Observers criticized this campaign for reinforcing, ladies and gentlemen, narrow beauty ideals connected somehow to this thing called whiteness, which of course I am the embodiment of. Look at me. I'm a polyeugenic, polyzygotic, multicultural everything. I am not white. I am mosaic. They also suggest sexualization and mixed messaging. Some deem the ads as over-sexualized from a country, ladies and gentlemen, that thinks nothing of contaminating your children's lifestyles and your children's environment with transgender, blue-haired, pink, whatever it is. The question is this true or not? Mo Sneedley says, I know you have your own domain. Maybe you could incorporate it to WABC. Mo Sneedley this morning is absolutely positively focused on getting a chat channel. Rather than talking about this now, Mo Sneedley, and thank you, is talking nothing about paywalls, chat rooms, that while we're talking about this subject, Mo says, oh, no. I'm talking about chat rooms, and I'm talking about, I love you, Mo, but we're not talking about this. Let's talk about this, Mo. Let's talk about this. The subject matter. Is this a statement about America turning the corner? Yes or no? Is this America finally getting rid of this stupid transgender I don't want to say polymorphic, but this schizoid gender nonsense, which is, as we say in the world, bullshit. It's bullshit. It's ridiculous. And that these stupid companies who apparently abandon any and all concerns to their stockholders care more about just, I guess, perpetuating this ridiculous. Nobody thinks like this. We like little boys and little girls. And if you like the way white, blue-eyed, blonde-haired babies look, you can say, I like that look. If you like zaftiv, comely, buxom, whatever it is, you don't have to explain this to anybody. If you do like purple-haired, nose, plugged nose, bulleted nose, but you can say that too. You don't have to explain. You don't always have to explain that, no. You can say to yourself, for example, no, I like this. There are white men who have absolutely no problem with saying my penchant, my penchant is for white women. Ask O.J. Simpson. Ask O.J. Simpson what O.J. thought. Ask a lot of rappers and people. They say, I like white women. You don't have to. In fact, I'm going to ask you something right now, okay? I want you to, let's assume that I am here and I am looking to get you I'm here to get you a date. Let's assume you're single. Just play with me. Just play with me. Don't argue this point. Just play with me. And let's assume that I am saying, I'm going to go out and I want you to, I'm going to look, see if there's anybody I know. What is your, quote, preference? Say it. Is it white or black or brown? Is it blonde or brunette or redhead or dark? Is it straight-haired or curly? What is your preference? Tell me. What is your penchant, your penchant? What is it? Tell me. The Playboy philosophy? What do you think? Petite, funny, and smart. Thank you. Any of them, but they better not be crazy. DS, I'm with you 100%. DS, I'm with you 100%. You and I are on the same page, my friend. The number one problem that we have, in fact, there is something right now. There is an absolute predilection, a predisposition for insane. I have seen insane, the likes of which you can't believe. DS is trying. Thank you, sir. What's wrong with that? Why isn't that illegal? One of the things good trial lawyers always try to do is to get a feel for what the American people want. What do you think? Tell me. What do you think, my friends? I've never, personally speaking, Mrs. L is blonde, very white, very blue-eyed, which is wonderful. I fell in love with her. She looks like that? Great. I didn't go out looking for that. I just did. I can't help it. It's her soul. That's it. I lead with the soul. Everything else falls into play. I don't know. But there are some people who say, no, I don't. There are some people who say, I will not. Bob Grant, years ago, Bob Grant was asked whether he found black women attractive. And he said during the course of an interview, he says, no, I don't. I find white women more attractive. Aha! He called that racist. When it comes to preference, fetish, desire, what is it that there might somebody who says for the most part, I do not find overweight women attractive. I do not find underweight, tall, skinny. No, somebody may not want to go this far, but people say, I don't find handicapped people. God forbid. What you like is not somebody saying, I want them banned from the country. I don't want them to enjoy the same type of facilities that we do. Old Painless, Lita Ford, Kiss Me Deadly. Lita Ford is, it's so funny, Lita Ford, she was with Joan Jett. I like Kiss Me Deadly. 1, 2, a bunch of Saturday night. Lita Ford is my age. And there's nothing better than to see this woman who looks like a mom. She looks like a mom. And she's starting to look like a person who is 66, 7, 5, whatever years old. Skin changes, and she is, to me, at this point, more interesting, more compelling than somebody half her age, or more than half her age. If you want to see somebody that to me becomes more absolutely unattractive, immediately have somebody who says nothing, who was the poster child for vacuity, some stupex. What if Mrs. L's soul was 699 pounds and black? Interesting. By the way, I guess that's supposed to be funny. Because as you know, my friends, one of the things about the worst things available is somebody who thinks they're funny. And when given the opportunity to write along, as we are seeing right now, some people figure, I will impart upon you in the room my ability to seek and to exploit the abstruse and the comedically and quizzically verboten by virtue of my incredible penchant for witticisms. Now, here's what's amazing. I'm not going to waste my time by asking you questions because obviously I'm talking to children who've never been asked. Interestingly enough, somebody who was basically begging to have a chat room elsewhere, who is producing some of the most infantile, mind-bogglingly inane chat. Isn't that interesting? The person who said, what about a chat room? When can we talk? Can we talk? Can we talk? Can we talk? Well, let me see a sample of your work. Oh my God, this is horrible. Are you going to be chatting? Yes, I am. Well, maybe you're not the best advertisement for this. But I digress. Now, my questions for you, my friends, this is the most important. And this is really, really, really important. And I mean this sincerely. What do you think? What do you think this says about the prototypical classic American standards and the unmitigated audacity to say, this is what we want to promote. This is our country. This is what we think is beautiful. And that's it. What do you think it says about us? This is one of the most important news stories there is. More than Epstein, more than tsunamis, because this is a tsunami. This is American essentialism kind of getting back into square one. This is more important than anything else. And by the way, this is leaving this foolishness, this ridiculousness from the world of whatever this woke dystopia that we were living in before. It makes no sense. There we go. Let me open up my thing. Now, for those who are into more of a news story, there's a story about Epstein and Donald Trump, for reasons I do not understand. Donald Trump reopened, relitigated, reinvigorated, refocused Americans' attention on Jeffrey Epstein for reasons none of us will be able to understand ever. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? Nobody, but nobody, Why do you think that happened? We don't know. Why is anybody looking at this? We don't know. Whatever happened to Pam Bondi? We don't know. Whatever happened to Tesla? I was on my way in this eve, and there was a fellow who was driving. I took the car service, and it was a Lyft driver. I think Lyft is really saves so much money. They have wait and save. Have you seen this? Uber is a joke. It's like, this is the most expensive. What are we doing? Where am I going? Lyft says the very same place, the same route, often the same drivers because they both share. And Lyft, L-Y-F-T, as you know, Lyft will say, how about this thing called wait and save? If you agree to wait 15 minutes, up to sometimes 5 or 10, versus getting your car right away, we'll save you a boatload. And it's true. And where I am in the city, I get the car no matter what. It's the best deal there is. Why is that? I don't know. People have this this name brand. Well, like an Uber. It's the same car. They ride for the same companies. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, this fellow coming in, he had on WBGO. And I'm going to tell you right now, 88.3, I believe. And WBGO is an absolute cherished, I'll tell you this, it's a cherished station, as far as I'm concerned, in our area, it's the best jazz station there is. It's, did you know that the call sign meaning is Bob G. Ottenhoff? It was originally owned by the Newark Board of Education. And it has the name, it says very interesting from the names WBGO, Jazz 88. And right now it is, I believe, it's NPR. Well, it's the only thing that NPR does. Newark Public Radio and Bob G. Ottenhoff. This is so interesting. There's a great list of where do numbers come from. Here, WABC. Do you know what this is? WABC. Let's see what this is. WABC. Wow, there's so many letters. Let me go back into this. WABC, WABC, WABC. Hang on a second, WABC. Here we go, WABC, 770. American Broadcasting Company, formerly WJZAM. Then there's WABC 880. This is Atlantic Broadcasting Company, now WCBS. It's very interesting. But WBGO was Bob G. Ottenhoff, one of the founders. Isn't that interesting? Well, anyway, WBGO, I think, is still one of the best jazz stations there is. And maybe I'm not supposed to do this on but I tell you the way it is. I think I love great radio. I like college radios. I like jazz stations. I like kind of run of the mill. In any event, there was a fellow who was on. He was driving. And he's from another country. I could tell by virtue of how he spoke, and he loved jazz. And I said to him, this is American music. I think it was Louis Armstrong. I said, this is one thing that my country gave to the world. We may not be perfect in all respect, but what we did was we gave you and the world that. And I am proud of I am not proud of anything involving what we did. World War II to an extent, yeah. That's a different story. I'm not going to get into wars because we had to, self-defense, we had the wherewithal. And I'm glad what we did, and we've done some pretty important things. That's about it. I am extremely unimpressed with American government. But that notwithstanding, I'm very proud about what my country has done, and what we have done regarding the world of jazz. So anyway, as I'm talking, it made me think on the way in, I love what's American. And if I were to bring somebody in, and I said, let me explain to you what America is. This is what I want. If I were to explain to you, there are people that we think there are certain forms of beauty and pulchritude. I don't want to get into what's sexy and what's not, but it is or it isn't. And I'm not going to explain to somebody or justify this is something which is the most important thing in the world, to explain that I am not going to explain to anybody why my particular feelings of pulchritude or beauty, or yours, is preferred. And I'm not going to, you're not going to have to explain that either. Robert De Niro, for whatever reason, has a penchant for black women, negresses. Fine. You don't have to explain anything. Beauty is beauty and beauty is beauty. It covers an ambit. But for people to say, we're going to go after, we are going to go after. By the way, ask white women, blonde hair and blue eyes, whether they feel out of touch. You better believe it. By the way, you know who was the number one most segregated and vilified group of people in the United States. Who was it? Very quickly. Anybody? Can anybody tell me, please? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me? And by the way, I hope you don't understand, but I love interchange. But when somebody wants to always take over chats with this bilge, I'm sorry, intimidating others from kind of weighing in. This is a group chat. It's like being in a library and somebody's yelling. But ask, let me tell you right now, right-handed. Right-handed people rule the world. And if you're left-handed, forget it. Absolutely, positively, 100% better. Do you understand what I'm saying? In this country, left-handed people are the bane of the existence of everyone. This is one of those things of life. It's not supposed to be like that. The government doesn't do anything specifically to target them, but you know it's true, and I know it's true, okay? That's all I'm saying. So my friends right now, as we speak, Johnny Mazespas says, Lionel, what is wrong with Dan Bongino? He is an idiot. He is, as we say, an idiot. And goes to show you how the president picks the wrong people that he thinks are cool, Johnny, or are, they've been on TV. When he was, on TV, there was something wrong when there was a cancer. I don't know what it was, but he's crying. You will never see me on TV crying over a sickness I have. When there are people in hospitals far worse than I am. You understand what I'm saying? Period. End of discussion. The intolerant segregate themselves. Thank you, James Green. There you go. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the most important thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to begin my stay. I'm going to begin my piece right now on WABC. I invite all of you, wonderful people, wonderful, please come on in, join, and understand something. That we have rules on WABC. Raymond Diaz says, great show, always enjoy listening to you. Thank you, Diaz, I appreciate this. But as you know, we have rules on radio. You can't call up and you can't cuss. You can't do other things like that. Same thing when it comes to our joy, our joyful noise here. Thank you, my friends. I'm going to go right now. We'll start, actually it's about 5 after the hour. Top of the hour news. Then we do straight ahead, maybe at 5 after. In any event, thank you. Go to 77 WABC or 770 WABC or WABCradio.com. Pick up the noise. Thank you for following Lionel Legal. Lionel Legal. You understand that? Lionel Legal. Join us. Join us. That is the most important thing in the world. That's so wonderful. Thank you so much, my friends. And to those of you, let me know when you get your stream in so we can tune in. We'd love to be a part of it. Let me let you know, okay? So anyway, it's a great time being with you. God bless you. God bless you. Don't ever change. I mean that sincerely. And until we meet again, remember these words. America, America, America. God bless America. And don't forget, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.